It starts with a familiar morning. You fill the feeder with fresh seed. The bird bath has clean water. Everything looks perfect. But then you wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even half an hour, and not a single bird shows up. Most people assume it's just coincidence. Maybe the birds found food somewhere else. Maybe the weather changed. Or maybe they'll simply come back tomorrow. But the truth is far more surprising. Birds rarely abandon a yard for no reason. Every day, they constantly evaluate their surroundings to answer one life or death question. Is this place safe? In a bird's world, a tiny detail that humans barely notice can become a warning sign. A feeder placed in the wrong spot, a cat that regularly passes through, dirty water, or even sudden noises that happen at the same time each day. What many people don't realize is that your yard isn't being judged through human eyes. It's being evaluated every minute through the eyes of the birds you hope to attract. And sometimes, the things we do with the best intentions are exactly what drive them away. In this video, we're going to see your backyard from a bird's perspective and uncover 10 common mistakes that may be quietly chasing away your feathered visitors forever. The first mistake often begins with the best intention. You want to see the birds more clearly, so you place the feeder right near the window, in the middle of the open lawn, or wherever it is easiest to watch from your living room. To humans, that seems perfect. But to a bird, it may feel like a dining table placed in the middle of danger. A bright red cardinal may fly close, land on the fence, and tilt its head toward the feeder. But before it touches a single seed, it is not just looking at the food. It is scanning the entire yard. Is there a shrub close enough to escape into? Is there a tree branch it can reach if a hawk appears? Is there a cat hiding beneath the patio chair? Most people think birds only need food. But the truth is, birds need safety before they need a full stomach. If the feeder is too far from trees or shrubs, birds feel exposed in open space. If it is too close to dense cover, that same cover can become the perfect ambush spot for a cat. A better distance is usually around 10 to 12 feet from shrubs or trees. That gives birds a quick escape route, but keeps predators from hiding close enough to strike without warning. And then comes the second mistake, the seed itself. Many cheap seed mixes look generous, colorful, and full. But inside, they often contain fillers like red millet, oats, or other seeds that cardinals, chickadees, and many backyard birds often ignore. You may see seeds scattered all over the ground and think the birds are messy eaters, but sometimes they are simply choosing. They are tossing aside what is not worth eating to find the few seeds that actually matter. That creates another quiet problem. Leftover seed on the ground can attract mice, squirrels, insects, and even cats or other predators. To make your feeder a trusted stop, start with black oil sunflower seeds. They are simple, energy-rich, and loved by many backyard birds. Safflower seed is also a good choice, especially if you want to attract cardinals without making the feeder too tempting for squirrels. To a bird, a good yard is not the one with the most food. It is the one where the food is right, the location feels safe, and a small meal does not come with a life or death risk. Here is something many bird lovers never expect. Sometimes the most dangerous thing in the yard is not the hawk overhead, but the feeder that looks completely harmless. After a few rainy days, leftover seeds begin to turn damp. They stick to the bottom of the feeder, change color, and develop a faint smell that humans may barely notice. But to birds, it is no longer a safe meal. Moldy seed can carry fungi that may affect a bird's respiratory system. A small finch, a chickadee, or a cardinal stopping by for just a few minutes can come into contact with disease. And when many birds stand on the same dirty feeder, droppings, saliva, and seed dust can turn that place into a quiet center of infection. The sad part is that the person caring for the yard may still believe they are helping. A feeder full of seed is not always a good feeder. Sometimes, a clean feeder with less food is far safer. Clean your feeder about once every 2 weeks. If the weather is damp, rainy, or you notice seed clumping together, clean it sooner, even after just a few days. Use diluted vinegar, scrub the small corners and cracks, then let everything dry completely before adding fresh seed. But even with clean food, birds may still disappear for another reason: cats. To us, a cat resting sleepily on the porch may look harmless, even charming. But to a bird, it is a moving shadow, a danger with claws. Even if the cat has never caught a bird, its regular presence can still change the safety map inside a bird's mind. Birds remember that area. They avoid the shrubs where the cat walks, the grass where it rests, and eventually the feeder nearby. Ecologists call this a landscape of fear, a place where animals do not only react to predators, but change their behavior because a predator might appear. The solution does not have to be complicated. Keep cats indoors during early morning and late afternoon, when birds are most active. If stray cats often enter your yard, a motion-activated sprinkler can help scare them away without harming them. To birds, a yard worth returning to does not only need food, it needs the feeling that every time they land, they still have a chance to fly away. If food attracts birds, water is what convinces them to stay. Imagine a hot summer afternoon. A robin lands in your yard. It does not look for seed first, it looks for water. Not just to drink. Water helps birds clean their feathers, remove dirt, maintain insulation, and keep their plumage in the condition needed for flight. In a bird's world, healthy feathers are just as important as wings, yet many people set out a bird bath and then forget about it. After 2 or 3 days, the water becomes stagnant. Leaves fall into it. Bacteria begin to grow. Mosquitoes appear. What seemed like a gift slowly becomes a place birds avoid. Even more interesting, birds are often attracted not by the sight of water, but by the sound of it. While you are sleeping, birds can hear the sound of dripping or moving water from surprising distances. A small bubbler or a simple drip system can transform an ordinary corner of your yard into a place birds visit again and again. But even with good food and clean water, there is another factor many people overlook: consistency. Most people assume birds operate only on instinct. The truth is that many birds learn human routines. They know who regularly fills the feeder. They know when the yard is quiet. They know when it is safe to appear. If you step into the yard at the same time every morning and follow the same routine, birds gradually become familiar with your presence. Sudden disturbances tell a different story. A door slamming shut, loud music blasting from a speaker, children suddenly racing across the lawn. To a bird, these events can feel like danger appearing without warning. The trust that takes weeks to build can be shaken by only a few frightening experiences. Then we arrive at one of the most common mistakes in modern yards: cleaning up too thoroughly. Every autumn, fallen leaves are removed, dead branches are cut away, small brush piles disappear. Everything looks tidy, organized, and beautiful. But through a bird's eyes, part of the forest has just vanished. What many people do not realize is that a layer of fallen leaves beneath shrubs is like a natural supermarket. Thousands of tiny insects, spiders, seeds, and other small creatures live there. That hidden world provides food for many ground-feeding birds every single day. The same is true for dead branches and brush piles. They are not clutter. They are shelter during cold nights, protection from winter winds, a place where woodpeckers, chickadees, and many other small birds can forage or hide when danger appears. A yard that seems perfect to humans can sometimes feel empty to birds, because what birds are searching for is not perfection. It is life. There is one mistake that is almost invisible, because after you make it, the yard may still look green and beautiful. Pesticides. You may use them to protect flowers, vegetables, or the lawn. But to birds, pesticides do not only remove pests, they remove life. Most backyard birds do not live on seed alone. During nesting season, many species need soft insects to feed their young. A tiny chickadee may fly back and forth hundreds of times a day just to bring enough food to the nest. When insects disappear, the yard may still look perfect to us, but to birds, it becomes quiet and empty. The strange thing is, if you give birds the chance, they become your natural pest control team. They do not need chemicals. They only need a yard that is still alive. And the final mistake is not really about feeders, water, or trees. It is about how we think of birds. Many people treat feeding birds like a transaction. We pour the seed, they show up. But in reality, birds remember. They remember faces, routines, consistency, and even the times the feeder stayed empty too long. Over time, your yard becomes more than a place with food. It becomes a place they can trust. So when a cardinal returns every morning, it may not only be choosing your backyard, it may be choosing you. Which mistake surprised you the most? Share your story below.